So is Governor Mitt Romney's selection of Congressman Paul Ryan to be his running mate in the 2012 general election really the game-changing decision that everybody says it is? Congressman Ryan rose to fame over the past several months through his budget proposals which seek to balance the budget of the United States government. Though Ryan is to be applauded for trying to cut the budget in several areas, his budget does not go far enough. Ryan's plan in increasing military spending ignores the conventional wisdom that in order to contain the runaway government spending, all budgets have to be cut. All spending must be cut, otherwise it's going to affect the American people in the form of new taxes eventually. Ryan should be looking at the efforts of people such as Senators Tom Coburn of Oklahoma and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who, instead of expanding the military budget, are seeking to audit the Pentagon and thereby force the military to more efficiently allocate what money they already have. We have yet to hear anything from Ryan, or Romney for that matter, on the audit the Pentagon efforts. All we have heard to date is Romney and Ryan calling for more military spending. This poses a real threat to the anti-Obama coalition, which is seeking to take back our country. Many left-leaning independents do understand the basis of Ryan's argument that the entitlement programs must be reformed in order to save them. But these same left-leaning independents also want the budget to be cut in all sectors, including the military. Ryan's refusal to touch the military spending is going to anger these left-leaning independents and maybe get some of them to re-look at voting for Obama or for someone else in the general election. Ryan's budget and refusal to cut military spending is also going to anger many on the far right, including the Ron Paul supporters, because many of them also realize that the budget has to be cut in all sectors, because they understand government spending is a tax, and that government spending out of control can lead to insolvency no matter where the money is being spent. Faced with this analysis, it is reasonable to conclude that Romney and Ryan still have a long fight ahead of them, and that they will have to try and win back the left-leaning independents and the members of the far right in order to convince them that 4 years of them is better than 4 years of Obama. Many on the far right were angered when they heard the news that Senator Rand Paul had supposedly endorsed Congressman Paul Ryan's selection for Vice President of the United States. However, my analysis of Senator Paul's comments actually leads to a very different conclusion. Senator Paul very carefully chose his words when he spoke of Paul Ryan's selection. Senator Paul congratulated the Republican Party for its willingness to tackle the deficit issues. Mind you, a careful choice of words. Senator Paul never says that Congressman Ryan's plans, or Governor Romney's for that matter, are going to solve the nation's financial problems. Rather, he says that they're going to tackle them. It's a very careful choice of words by Senator Paul. When one also analyzes that Senator Paul and his father, Congressman Paul, both have had some praise for the Ryan plan, but have also criticized strongly that Ryan is not willing to take the step of cutting government programs in all sectors, it seems to become even more obvious that Congressman Paul and Senator Paul still have grave reservations about the willingness of these people to actually tackle the government's problems. We also heard earlier this past week that Vice President Joe Biden could be removed from the Democratic ticket for this November. To put it bluntly, Vice President Biden has made a fool of himself in more ways than one, and no matter what you think about the man, you have to admit that at the very least he poorly words what he's trying to say. And it may be considered a major victory for the establishment conservative media that their pressure has finally made Biden a liability. It used to be that a Democrat could not make himself a liability under those kinds of circumstances, but Biden has finally made himself just that. It is a victory and a step in the right direction. However, Biden's removal from the ticket also poses a threat that Obama could very well be reelected this November. If President Obama were to remove Biden from the ticket, the only person that he would replace Biden with is Secretary of State and former First Lady Hillary Clinton. Despite President Obama's unpopularity, Mrs. Clinton is still very popular amongst members of the left and many left-leaning independents. Her addition to the ticket could take advantage of the split amongst the anti-Obama coalition that Ryan's selection for VP has presented. Clinton on the ticket would bring some people from the left who oppose Obama back to the fold and maybe provide the margin for Obama to win the election. Word is we will know whether Secretary of State Clinton replaces Vice President Biden on the Democratic ticket within the next 3 weeks, certainly before the Democratic National Convention.